Have slowed down, so we'll go ahead and get started. If you would please take a minute and put yourself on mute, but leave yourself on video if you choose, so Reverend Jean can see that she's really talking to people.
Yeah, that makes a difference to
So
me.
let me welcome you this morning to the Helena Church of Conscious Living via Zoom.
Okay.
And this morning, we're always grateful when we have Reverend Jean Sweet to talk to us, guide us, and make our week start out remarkably well. Jean, welcome.
Thank you. That was very kind. We are going to begin with a perhaps unfamiliar song of Karen Drucker's, but it's beautiful, and I think it's called Morning Prayer. So, Zach, may we play that? And so, those beautiful words, I will surrender every moment, every day. I will be kinder every moment, every day. I will be loving every moment, every day. Let's take those words into our heart for a moment. I'm going to invite you to exhale with me now, exhaling and inhaling. Beautiful deep inhale in and exhaling all the way, no breath left. Okay. This is called the victorious breath, and I think this Sanskrit word is ujjaye. So we're learning that deep breathing, which is really important to use as we move through. We're inviting people to mute as they come on. That would be wonderful, please. In this meditation, I'm very grateful. Arriving here now together, there was so much joy as we were greeting each other, coming into our service. I will remember to be more joyful every day. I will remember to be more joyful every day. Kinder, loving, joyful. Kinder, loving, joyful. This is an amazing day today. We are so grateful to be together. So exhaling with me now and see if you can just let all the breath go. No breath left. Beautiful, deep breath in. And as you take that breath in, quietly and gently open your eyes with me. Feels so good to be here now. There's our friend Susan. Yay. That's so great. This is so great. And it's wonderful to see everyone as well. So, this is our last talk of January. This month had 5 Sundays. And I was contemplating this month. This month actually felt like a year. And it's like, oh my gosh. And for a while in the process of it, the best thing I could say was interesting new year. I couldn't quite, there was a lot of things going on this month. And if you were like me, there were times I found that I was holding my breath and then I would breathe and I would pray. And the thing is about this month, it is usual to start a year by setting intentions. And somehow that slipped by us in all of this month as we had amazing speakers share. And I really appreciated what Orlinda taught us, creating above the line. I love that, Orlinda. And I think about that often. And so the thing that I want to do today is I want to help everybody set intentions. I want to teach you the process that I was taught in ministerial school, which hopefully you'll find amusing. And I want you to remember this, that Dr. Ernest Holmes said, And I love this phrase. In fact, I think of this often. He said, never limit your view of life by any past experience. Never limit your view of life by any past experience. In fact, I was thinking that would be a fabulous sweatshirt. And the front of it would say, never limit your view of life. And the back would say, by any past experience. And then you would be teaching things as you're wandering around or standing in the line of the grocery store. And so the first thing is that this is just the very basic truth about co-creating, is that you have to envision a brighter future. You have to envision a happier new year. Like what what is that? What, and that means that you have to look beyond this current experience. Particularly, we were talking about, as people came on, what it takes to get signed up for your first vaccination. But we have to look beyond all of that to, what does life look, what is a happier new year? What will we be doing together? And one of my constant visions that I focus on is, sharing food on our decks, laughing into the night with stars over our head, being together without masks. That's an amazing vision, truthfully. So you have to generate the desire, and then you have to back it up with a mental equivalent of what that looks like. Like you have to see it. It has to be, you have to see it, and then you have to feel it. And the feeling of it is really important. Like when we laugh into the night under the stars, oh, that's just one of my most favorite things in the whole world. And then you have to tell the universe every day with conviction and authority. And those are two really important words: conviction and authority. In fact, the master Jesus taught us that. He would just speak his word, his process. I've described it often: up, in, out. He would go to a higher consciousness. He would anchor that in, and then he would speak his word out into the world: up, in, out. So confidence and authority. Absolutely. It's like, thank you, God, for that. I'm so grateful. And I know truly that all of this is working itself out. But we have to have a bigger picture of what we want in our life. And so your job is to provide the vision. Nothing changes or becomes real in the physical world without that. Nothing changes. In fact, that's the test. If you look around and you go, oh, that's this same thing is happening all of the time, then, you have to come back to, what am I thinking about? Where is my emotional agreement? Because emotional agreement is critical. Dr. Ernest Holmes said, change your thinking, change your life. But really, the truth is, change your thinking, change your emotional agreement of what you are thinking about, and you will change your life. And that is truth. So your vision has to be clear, tangible, definable. Clear, tangible, definable. One of the things that I've been saying to myself is, this year I will begin traveling again. Oh God, I love to travel. This year I will begin traveling again to distant and exciting places, having new adventures, learning new things, broadening my horizon. And that is a true vision. Traveling, oh my gosh. I mean, I have, so many suitcases that I have an aisle between my suitcases. And so depending on where I'm going and what I'm doing, and if Mr. Sweet, I like pick one out. But that's how many suitcases I have, and they've been gathering dust. And so, the thing about a vision, and I'm gonna cover this in a while, but it doesn't contain a lot of detail. You don't have to worry about that stuff. And I'll share a story with you in a little bit about what that means. So I'm going to tell you that in my ministerial training, this is true, Abigail. When I was with Dr. Marilyn Hall, and we were, working out the vision in our ministerial training, we were taught that a vision statement should be 12 words or less, and that you should be able to repeat it at gunpoint. And I know that's a little controversial right now, but I will share with you my vision because because we had to be able to say it like that at any given moment, that I can do that. And my vision as I came into ministry was heal the planet, feed all the children, support all forms of life that are threatened, particularly the two-legged, create peace on earth, and co-create a world that I love. The, and I can still say that. And the truth is, I work on some part of that every single day. This is going to make me cry. Heal the planet. You know, we grow food, and I'm starting to organize my seeds. I know it's only January, but heal the planet, feed all the children, support all forms of life that are threatened, create peace on earth, and co-create a world that I love, that I can sign my name to at the end. So first, I'm going to teach you a very easy process. We're going to do this, and then we're going to do it again a little bit later, but it goes like this. So you have to watch me, and everybody can see me. Nod your head. Yes, okay. So thumbs up, everybody, thumbs up. And that's the vision right there. You know, this year I will be traveling to fabulous places, having exciting adventures. So the vision, you know, like 10 words. I want you to think about this. I'm going to be quiet for a minute. Thumbs up. And I want you to say some part of this happier new year to yourself. Simple. All right, open your eyes with me. This finger. You point your finger in the direction of your dreams. So thumbs up, point your finger down that vision so that you see it. Like I said, traveling, having wonderful meals on our deck, which we worked on last summer, and it's really incredible. Put a lot of energy, effort, and financial resources into our deck. So point your finger down the day into that direction. All right, open your eyes with me. Third finger. This is our power finger. So this is our power finger. And the power finger is when we claim this good. All right, thumbs up. We've stated our vision. We've pointed our finger in the direction of it. Our power finger. We say it again with confidence and authority. This year, I will be traveling to fabulous places, learning new things, broadening my horizons. So the power finger, you claim your truth. Your ring finger, you are faithful to the vision. And what that means is that you don't get distracted. I'll talk about that in a little bit. You're faithful to the vision. And your ring finger, you say, yep, this is what I'm going to do. And this is where I'm putting my energy. And the little finger, your little finger, it reminds you to be faithful to the little things like friendship and caring and love. And every single time some part of your vision unfolds, you remember it. You remember your vision, the little things. And so every day you can sit down, you have 5 fingers, you can do it twice if you want to, thumbs up, you point your finger in that direction, middle finger, you claim it with authority and confidence, ring finger, you remember to be faithful to it. You look beyond current circumstance, and the little finger, you remember the little things. You remember that we love each other. And so, there is a really interesting thing that Dr. Holmes taught us. So I'm shifting gears now. And he said this, he said, you have to let go to let God work. And that's truth. So, you do your process, 5 fingers, you can do it twice if you want. And then you get up and and you kind of go, okay, now, what's the next thing? What's next? I learned that from Jed Bartlett in the West Wing, my favorite president, really. And he would always go, what's next? And he'd go, what, they didn't have time to really, they just would go, what's next? Okay, they, solve this problem and they keep, a nuclear war from happening, and and he would just go, what's next? And that's what you have to do. When you let go and you let God, the truth is this: God, that's God's job. The how is God's job. The how is never up to you. You cannot possibly work out the details. There's, God has infinite intelligence, and infinite power to work everything out. And I'll tell you what, that how so many times that has literally brought me to my knees, because I could never have figured that out. But God did. It's like, oh, that was fabulous. Thank you. That's, that has nothing to do with you. So a clear vision is like a really good recipe. You want to make you want to make a delicious cornbread. And so you gather up all the ingredients and you put this in and that in, and if you're like me, you throw some other stuff in that has nothing to do with the recipe. And then you put it in the oven, and then you walk away, right? You set a timer and it bakes. God's part is the baking part, and then you take it out of the oven and you smell the deliciousness and you butter it up and you eat it. And all of that, that's your job. So you really work in the physical world. That's what you do. And God works in the universal world, and you've got to give God a lot of room to work. I mean, I could tell you story after story after story of, people saying, and I'm like, just breathe and, let it go. And then, 2 weeks later, I get that phone call. You're never going to believe. Yeah, I always believe what happened because I believe in God. And so your assignment is really easy when you think about it. You name your highest good with authority and confidence. You claim it, you stay true to the vision, and you stay the course. You stay the course, and then you let God do its job. There is a very beautiful statement that I heard recently. It's comes from Christian scripture. It comes from Luke, and it goes like this: into your hands I commit my spirit. Into your hands I commit my spirit. And that's it. Another way you could say that is, and this is also comes from Christian scripture, not my will, but thine be done. So your job, you select, you accept, and you allow. And that's a whole nother talk, truly, because each one of those is a different energy. But you select, you accept it completely. It's like, I have no clue how this is going to happen, but I'm going to allow it, and I'm going to say yes to it, and then we're going to see what happens. Your job, that's it. And then you let go and you let God. So Ralph Waldo Emerson, who was an American original, and that's really saying something, because in his time and day, that really is saying something. And he was one of the founders of the Transcendentalist movement, which came right before the metaphysical movement. He was an amazing guy. Dr. Ernest Holmes loved him. And he said, reading Emerson is like drinking water to me. So he's quite flowery. In fact, we had to read him a lot in ministerial training, and he doesn't believe in periods or commas. So you'd read like 2 pages before you got to a period, and you just want to, put commas in and stuff. In fact, I think I did that. But this is what he said: a little consideration of what takes place around us every day would show us that a higher law than that of our will regulates everything. Our painful labors, I like this sentence, our painful labors are very unnecessary and altogether fruitless. that only in our easy, simple, spontaneous actions and thoughts are we strong, and by contenting ourselves with obedience, we become divine. And I know that was a lot to take in, so I'm going to repeat it, but it's exactly true. A little consideration of what takes place around us every day would show us that a higher law than that of our will regulates everything. That our painful labors, I love that our painful labors are unnecessary and altogether fruitless. That only in our easy, simple, spontaneous actions and thoughts are we strong. And by contenting ourselves with obedience, we become divine. You know, really, that was flowery, but he's telling you the truth. You create the vision, you affirm the vision, you speak it with authority and confidence, you stay truthful and faithful to it, and then you acknowledge every part of it that unfolds in your life. And that really is simple. Emerson also said, there is something at the center of nature and over the will of every person so that none of us can wrong the universe. None of us can wrong the universe. I remember, I don't know, 5 weeks ago or something like that, I talked about divine justice, you know, and I said, every one of us, every single person is at the mercy of our own law of cause and effect. And truthfully, not one of us can harm the unified field. And that is true. Then Emerson says, this soul is so infused with enchantment, that's a good word, that we prosper when we accept its advice. Why need you choose so painfully your occupation and associates and modes of action and all of that stuff? Certainly there is a possible right for you that precludes the need of willful election. For you, there is a reality, a fit place. And, you know, Dr. Ernest Holmes said for him, that was like drinking water. And truthfully, when you read Dr. Ernest Holmes, you've read a lot of Emerson, you realize that he plagiarizes him. That's fabulous because all metaphysicians do that, truthfully. So when we let go and we let God, it requires your absolute conviction. You know, that tug of war with God is pointless. It really is. Speak your word, let go, and then you go, what's next? So that you focus on what's in front of you and you let God work it out. You create that place where God can put it all together. So it is inevitable. I want you to hear me say this because I'm speaking with absolute authority and conviction. I'm speaking with experience. So it's kind of interesting to say that. But I'm telling you what, I have prayed for so many people. I've prayed for so many things. I've prayed for my own life. I'm telling you that I am telling you it is inevitable that you will succeed at life. Remember in the mail, there was this period of time that it doesn't happen anymore, I guess, because I'm totally pre-approved. But you would get these things in the mail that said, you are pre-approved. Remember those? And you'd get it in the mail and would say, you are pre-approved for this credit card and that credit card and all that stuff. And one year I actually cut them all out in my stack. I had 21. It's like, and I would just say, look, I'm pre-approved by God. I really like that. And we don't seem to get those anymore. But the truth is, you are pre-approved and you will always succeed at life. I want you to remember these words of Emerson's. For you, there is a reality, a fit place in this world, in this life. And so it is our human nature to cling. You know, we seriously, I will say that about my own self. It is our human nature to cling to things, and change freaks us out. I've said many times, change is not a 4-letter word, and you have to kind of comprehend that. It's true. We like to get our way. God knows I like to get my way. We get frustrated when things don't go the way that we think they should, or people don't behave the way we think they should, or that people don't seem to understand we are the master of the universe and everybody should just fall in line. Those simple words: into your hands I commit my spirit. Into your hands I commit my spirit. I let it go. And then you say, well, what's next? What do I focus on? And then you just turn in that direction. You don't noodle the whole thing. And I promise you, in a matter of hours, you can turn your life around. I've done it my own self so many times, because I realize I just have to let go and let God. And then as soon as I do, I've unglued the energy, I've unstuck the energy, and then God is free to create something different than the thing that has continued to, bother me. So, Sydney, will you mute yourself? Yeah, thank you. All right. So, another famous saying of Dr. Ernest Holmes: God only works for you by working through you. The universe can only work for you by working through you. And so there are basically two behaviors that interfere with God's ability to create your vision. The first one is putting way too much time and energy into things that have no positive payoff, or any part of your vision. Like my vision, traveling. I'm going to travel again this year to far and distant places, learning new things, broadening my horizon, eating wonderful food. I didn't even, oh God, food that I didn't cook, honestly. And so, so that first thing, putting way too much time and energy into things that have nothing to do with your vision. And here's the short list. Perhaps you'll recognize something here. I know you're all perfect, but these are the things that interfere with our vision: whining, complaining, blaming, shaming yourself as well, not forgiving people, stuck energy, waste, that's a waste of time, repeating the themes of bad country music. Seriously. The he done me, she done me, and poor me. It's like, oh my God. And God knows there's a lot of energy that we can connect with and go down the rabbit hole for sure. I understand that. Believe me, I understand that. And I have to pull myself back. It's like, what's the truth, Jean? This is the truth. So it's also easy to get distracted by the promise of bright, shiny things, the bright, shiny things that distract us from our vision, like Facebook. I'm so grateful that I have never participated in that, but I understand that you can be in there for hours and take pictures of what you had for lunch. I don't know, but to not get distracted by that stuff, games on your phone or whatever, the bright, shiny things that distract you from what is your real work, from your vision, what that is beyond this current experience right here. Okay, and the second behavior that interferes with God's ability to fully deliver your vision is not following through with your part in the plan. And so what is that? I'm too scared. I'm not enough. I'm too, I don't have enough, whatever. It's like, that's nonsense. I promise you that has nothing to do with your vision. Nothing to do with your vision. I did this vision board, and God, I'll never forget this. I created this big vision board. It was one of my classes I was teaching in a former life in a land far, far away. And there was this part of the vision of my ministry, this part of the vision of my personal life, and this part where I had this whole thing about I wanted to travel. Now I had like 10 cents, literally. And and I made this whole part about traveling. And then I swear to God, the next day, my family called me and said, Jean, we want to take you on a cruise around the world and we're going to pay for everything. And I'm like, okay, thank you. See, that part is not up to me. And that's really the truth. We went through the Panama Canal and all the way. It was an amazing experience. I was in Costa Rica and the Honduras and Ecuador and it was just amazing. And when I showed up at the airport, I really liked this part. My family said, Jean, we understand that you might like some spending money. So they gave me this envelope with cash in it and they said, let us know if you run out. Okay. So I don't worry about any of that stuff. You have to get up every day, declare your vision with conviction and authority, and move forward in the direction of your dreams. That's it. That's all you need to do. So the cool thing about a vision that you can clearly state. So every day that, thumbs up, point your finger, declare your truth with authority and conviction, be faithful to the vision, and then acknowledge all the little things. Keep doing it. And what does that take? I don't know, less than a minute. That's what I'm thinking. You can do it with the other hand. And then you're up to 30 seconds. I don't know. But I promised you that how's my time? Oh, I'm doing really good. In my world, I'm doing great, Yeah. So I'm going to tell you a story about the fine line that exists between declaring your highest good and doing it so specifically that you leave out the room for God's magic. So it's called outlining, and it's something you really have to learn in the process of visioning. Like you never say to God, and it has to have this wrapping with this kind of bow, and no, really. You just tell God what you want, and then you go and do what you need to do. And that's it. So when I was taking one of my first metaphysical classes, when I stepped into this life, and I was taking this class that was taught by this amazing woman named Helen Cross. And when I started taking these classes, she was 80. And she had been teaching the same class, the exact same class, over and over again for over 20 years. And she continued to do that. It was a class about manifesting. It was 6 weeks. And you showed up, you picked one thing, and you followed the process. And in 6 weeks, you talked about whatever. And at the end, it was magic. You literally created that thing. It was an amazing thing. And I took that class. I can't tell you how many times I took that class. And I know that I'm a confident manifester thanks to Helen Cross. Well, there was this woman in my class who really, really, really wanted a relationship. She wanted a boyfriend really bad. And so, and she would show up, she came to this class over and over again. And as she talked about it, what she had done was she had cut out beautiful men out of glossy magazines and glued them to cardboard. And she had put them around her house. So there was some beautiful man, at her kitchen table and in her living room on the couch and other places in the house that we won't discuss. And so she placed them all over her house. And so what transpired in this experience that she had told us was that many guys actually showed up, but the deal was that they were beautiful to look at, but they had no substance. I want you to think about that, okay? And they didn't stick around. They were, cardboard men, and they didn't stick around, and none of them were the men of her dreams. And so over time, very gently, Helen Cross, God bless her, very gently, she pointed out to this woman, and I can see her in my mind. I can't remember her name. Anyway, she told the woman that perhaps as she wrote down the qualities of the man that she would, that the qualities she was seeking rather than what he looked like on, honesty, integrity, good with finances, whatever, that and she reviewed them every single day. She looked at those and she ditched all the cardboard men. She would actually create a relationship of substance. And you know what? She did. She did. And that taught me that an amazing lesson of outlining that I will never forget. So, what is your vision of a happier new year? We're going to go there. Okay? So, we're going to do this again. Thumbs up. Thumbs up. And remember it, 10 words or less. Say it in your mind. All right. Point your finger in that direction. Point your finger in that direction. Make it, really make it big. Think about what that looks like, what that feels like. Power finger. Declare it in your mind with power and authority. Thank you, God, for. Thank you, God, for. Now, your ring finger. This is important because when you say to yourself, I will be faithful to the vision for my own self, I keep my word. So when I say I will be faithful to the vision, that has great meaning to me. And then your little finger. I will remember the little things that are important. Friendship, love, caring, sharing, giving. I will remember the little things. And I will, pay attention to everything, no matter how small, that shows up that is a part of the vision that I am gratefully affirming. And in your mind now with me say, and so it is. So it is. And gently open your mind with me, your eyes with me. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. The name of this talk is The Future So Bright I've Got to Wear Shades. Yeah. And I'm seeing myself somewhere, France, Italy, I don't know, the Balkans. I only have one rule. With, so it's not, this is an easy thing in the visioning of traveling. Okay. Is that I won't go anywhere where there isn't cheese. So that's just my bottom line. And it turns out that there's no cheese in Sumatra, oddly. So apparently I'm not going there. All right. So Zach, I would like you to play our celebration song. I want you to play that one. All right. So I'm, that's it. We name, claim, accept, stay faithful, and then we celebrate. So really, truly, it's been my honor, and I mean that, to spend this morning with you. Thank you so much. Thank you. I'm going to mute myself, Deb.
Thank you, Reverend Jean. It's always enlightening and energizing when you are with us. Thank you. Diane Nickman, we're ready for you for announcements.
First, I'd like to apologize, but I took Jean's talk to heart, and look, I'm like almost in a whiteout here because of all the bright light. I apologize, there's a window behind me. First, I wanted to say, as always, if you'd like to hear today's talk again, excuse me, or if you know someone who wasn't able to attend this morning, they can watch for an email, an e-blast that will link you to previous Sunday speakers, including Reverend Jean's. There's a reminder about HCCL and Zoom. Our board regularly reconsiders options for Sunday service gathering. We've been meeting on Zoom, and to ensure everyone's safety, we'll continue that until the COVID numbers and guidelines change. Our thanks go to Zach. He makes it possible for us to see as well as hear our Sunday speakers and everyone who Zooms in and turns their camera on. I don't know about you, but I'm like Jean. It just makes me happy to see all your faces. Another thank you goes to all of you for ongoing financial support of the Helena Church of Conscious Living. We meet by Zoom, but we still have regular bills to pay, and your checks and online donations let us keep doing that. Plus, we make our quarterly charitable contributions. There are several ways to send HICL, and that's an acronym that's easier than the full name. Your contributions can go through a Donate Now tab and button on our website, and you'll find a link to the website at the bottom of your Zoom invitation. If you're not signed up for the newsletter or the e-blast that include classes and Zoom invitations for services, you can sign up on that website. And that's all small letters, thehelenacenter.com. There's also a click here to donate now banner at the bottom of the Zoom invitation, where you can choose either PayPal or a debit or credit card for payment. And of course, there's the standard check that you can send to the HICL office at 25 South Ewing Street, Suite 214, zip code 59601. And that address is also listed at the bottom of your Zoom invitation. And last but not least, as Chris likes to say, you can slide a check under the door of HICL's office. And that's actually what I do. There's another way that you can help HICL special needs a special way, and that's through our Angel Sponsorship Program. It's an opportunity to make specific donations of goods that help the church. Chris mentioned last week that she needed stamps, and lo and behold, a book of stamps appeared a day or two later. So we want to thank the anonymous generous angel who donated that book of stamps. The Science of Mind magazine's March 2021 issue is available now at Inspiration Hall. You can get copies, I think they're $5 each, by contacting Chris or any board member. They're a wonderful resource, especially in times like this when things seem kind of crazy. We have Curiosity Cinema, a fun way to see good films with good HICL friends, and you don't even have to leave your house. Every third Thursday of the month, starting at 7 p.m., Dr. Deb hosts a free film via Zoom. It's casual, relaxing, and a good way to get to know members of the HICL family beyond like our regular Sunday service. The upcoming feature is The Power of the Heart, a perfect choice for February, but not just because of Valentine's Day. I peeked at a review, and Dr. Deb, is it okay for me to give a little preview?
You bet.
Okay. It said that that film was named one of the, quote, most heart-opening films of the year by Huffington Post. And it stars people like Eckhart Tolle, Deepak Chopra, Paulo Coelho, Maya Angelou, Mark Nepo, Jane Goodall, which is one of my favorites, and others. So look for more information in your March newsletter and check your email for a Zoom invitation and the date. So now we all have a date to look forward to. And speaking of the HICL newsletter, Reverend Jean and her sister Tricia have been working on that, and I think we'll have it in our emails tomorrow. That's the 1st of February. It's packed with all kinds of good information, so I've referred to it several times already. We had a class start with Reverend Jean in January. It's called Journaling, and it comes under the heading, I think, of masterful mindfulness.
Those are two different classes.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry.
Yeah. No, that's okay.
There's a journaling class with Reverend Jean, And they use a book called 2 Minute Mornings, A New Year Journaling Voyage. And Reverend Jean, can people still join that?
Yes. We would love to have you. You just need to have the book, 2 Minute Mornings, and then we meet on Tuesdays from 11:30 to 12:30 for 1 hour to talk about whatever we need to talk about. So it's great. And yes, people can join.
Great.
Did you get that book?
And then please remember the helping organizations in our community, like Food Share, that provides critical supplies to hungry people. Due to COVID, they're still unable to take food donations, but are very grateful for cash donations. And I want to thank all HICL members who cheerfully helped with our recent Family Promise rotation. We provided a big dinner and hosts to stay overnight. And as a result of this experience, there's a little known fact about Marilyn Hayes. She makes absolutely great peanut butter cookies, and she puts a chocolate kiss in the center of each one of them. And she brought a whole platter plus some other things.
Oh,
Next Sunday, we have, I think Catherine Metch is going to be our special speaker. And she is our beloved Catherine Metch, who also coordinates Family Promise. So Deb, like they say on TV, back to you.
Thank you, Diane. So to everyone, did we miss anything? Well, did Diane miss anything? Those were pretty comprehensive announcements. You know what to look for. Reverend Jean?
I'm sorry, what?
Oh, I saw you leaning forward. I thought you had something. Oh, journal.
That's the 2 Minute Morning Journal.
Okay.
And in the newsletter, I also invite you to come into Masterfully Mindful, which is a support group that has been meeting since 2014. And that is from 12:30 till 2 on Wednesdays. And there is a format that we follow, but we pray, we meditate, we share, we ask for support, we talk about the parts of our vision that are coming true. It's really a great thing. So you're welcome.
Thank you. So I want to end by welcoming people who joined us for the first time today. There are some names that I didn't recognize, and we're so grateful you're here. So thank you for coming to HICL on Zoom. Reverend Jean, will you send us off in confidence and authority for our week with a blessing?
Absolutely. It's my pleasure. And I want to say hello to my friends, the Reverend Doctors, Abigail and Steve. I'm so grateful that they're here and joining us this morning. So Dr. Ernest Holmes, he was an amazing man of highest consciousness. And the legends of him, they say that towards the end of his life, he would literally ascend. I mean, he would kind of go into the infinite and then remember to come back. And that, people would actually witness that. He would become speechless. And for Dr. Ernest Holmes, that was quite something. But he has an absolute statement of truth. And it goes like this: there's only one mind. That mind is the mind of God. That mind is perfect. That mind is my mind now. And so as I think into this mind of God that is creative, and I confirm and affirm for all of my friends who have joined us today, and all of us who could not make it for whatever reason, as I speak my word, knowing that I am speaking into the infinite mind of God that is creative and loves to create, and that is truth. I gratefully accept for all of us that we get out of our way, that when we declare our vision that each and every one of us, whatever that is, that we get out of our way and allow God to do its magic. And so we stay faithful to the things that are ours to do. And trust me, there is divine guidance all the way, that we, arrive in that amazing thing that we are co-creating right now. And the thing is this, then we keep creating, we look beyond, and we keep attracting and creating into our life and into the life of all sentient life, into the all sentient life, highest good. So I see that, I accept it, I claim it, I give thanks for it, and then I surrender it, knowing that God takes over. And I invite you to say, and so it is. Amen.
And so it is. Amen. Everyone have a confident and authoritative and loving week. And we'll see you with Catherine Metch next Sunday.
Yay.
Oh,
All right. Wow.
Steve, Reverend Dr. Steve brought treats. Jeez.
Thank you. Yum. Look at that.